I've made some changes to the tunnel. Probably because of the heat wave that we experienced. I think we're getting some overcast days. It's a little bit cooler as well. It's still warm. But after I brought the 3 French figs in, the 2 bigger ones defoliated, and they seem to have settled in now. They're still trying to push out fruits, which I keep pinching out. So here's the Violet Dauphine, or Dauphin, I'm not too sure. So it's grown all its foliage back. I'm starting to feed them now as well as water them. Same with this one here, the Violet de Solis. I'm not too sure if that's the correct pronunciation, but all the foliage has come back on strong. Any of the fruits that I've tried to come out, I've just pinched out. The Inca peach has settled in. It's thrown out some nice leaves. In this position I had another peach, the Dixie Red, and I think it was just the timing of it was completely wrong to put it into the tunnel. Like the temperature gauge had just maxed out, and it just went backwards, and it looked like it was going to die. So I gave it a bit of a cut, hollowed out the centre again, and started to throw out some buds, some leaves, and then they just died off. So I actually dug it out, and I put the Dixie Red over here. So you can see the foliage has gone off most of the tree. There are some still green leaves, some fresh leaves here. You can see the cuts where I've cut out some of the centre branches. So I'm hoping that with the cooler temperatures outside, cooler temperatures in the soil, that it will, because it's not a young tree. This tree is several years old. I'm hoping that it bounces back, going right up into the winter before it defoliates. When the temperatures drop, excuse me, I'm going to move it back in. So what I'm hoping for is that it's going to get another flush of leaves. This probably should have went down in the autumn or maybe the winter when it was dormant. What I'll do is I'll put it in here. So they definitely can. I think I got the Inca peach in just in time before the big heat came on, and it settled in obviously fairly quickly. I'd like to probably move that out to here, so it'll have a bit more space. It's kind of, the top is kind of pushed up against the plastic. So when that goes dormant in winter, I'm gonna move this across a bit and probably add more the compost manure. So in the space here, this morning I went out, got some new slabs. I have another fig here. I'm going to be putting a fig up the top here, and this one here is Grise de Tarascon. So it's a fine plant that came over, and I watered them when they arrived. so they weren't allowed to go dry, and dug out the soil, put in stones down around the base, so the root systems will be fairly restricted to this area. And once it settles in, keep it watered and start to feed it. This is the second one that I'm going to put up here in the corner. It's another French variety. Goutte d'Or. So we'll see how these get on. Again, if they start pushing out any fruits, I'll just pinch them out. I don't want the plants having the stress of trying to produce fruits when they're only after going into the ground. Oh boy. Come on. Right, so I've put the slabs in. I've taken out the earth here. It was like concrete. To break it up with the fork before I use the shovel. And I've packed in the stone loosely down around the end to, like the rest of the figs, to keep the roots contained as much as possible, that they're not spreading out, so they'll focus on fruit instead of spreading out, growing really vigorous, and focus on developing wood and leaves and branches and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I'll backfill now with a mix that I've already made up with compost manure. You can see it's much darker, more friable, broken up. So I'll put that in. Right, so there it is, all planted up, watered in. That's the last of the figs. I think it's called Golden Drop, Goutte d'Or. And this is the other one here, Grise de Tarascon. So